Just wanted to make a quick video about the opening moves of Annanko, the first two moves. And basically I'll be focusing on the bunkai and the body mechanics that I learned from Sensei Kimura. The opening sequence of Annanko, I find it's probably one of the most difficult sequences to do in the whole kata. So I have a couple of tips today that if anybody's interested, could make your kata look a little sharper, a little stronger, and more dynamic. So the bunkai for the opening moves, the first two moves in the kata, are it's a counter attack. So imagine the person attacking you is coming at with a big wind up, like a hooking punch like that. And as you move in, you're stopping the punch. You're hitting into the edge of the joint here where the collarbone is, or even right into the chest. And it can stop the punch, it could break the collarbone, a lot of things could happen like that. And I know it works because I was refereeing a tournament one time, and one side attacked with a Gyakuzuki, the other side attacked with a Maikenzuki, and the Gyakuzuki hit right here as the Maiken was coming out. And it hit him, knocked him backwards this way, dislocated the shoulder, he fell down on the ground, his arm was out of the joint. And so it can be effective if you do it right. But think of it like in a street situation where somebody's coming at you with a big wind up this way, and you're just moving in and stopping him, right? So you could break the collarbone, you could dislocate the shoulder. So that's the bunkai of the first two moves. So the first two moves in the kata are open hand strike this way. It's a shito uchi. Shito is a knife hand or a chopping hand motion. And the way we did it with Sensei Kimura was always a thrusting motion this way. I know some people do it as a shito uke, like a blocking motion, but the way we always practiced it was as a thrusting motion. Now basically it's just a maiken. If you're doing a maikenzuki, the only difference is the hand, instead of straight, the hand would be open this way. And so the first move is a maiken 45 degrees, just with an open hand. All right? So we go here, and then 45 degrees the other way. All right? So they're both kind of like a maiken. So if you think of a maiken, if I'm in this position, how do I move forward? It's very difficult to move. If I have one leg behind me, I can push. But when I'm in this position, the way I get moving is by trying to lose my balance. So I want to be on the edge of my balance here. The weight is on the balls of my feet. I'm going to push my thighs, my upper thighs, forward to a point where I lose my balance. And at that point of losing the balance, that's when I push off. So basically, I'm in this position, I fall, and then I move into the first striking position. But in order to do that, I can't just go sideways like this, right? Half of my body is actually moving backwards. So 50% of my power is going that direction. And what is it that makes me move? I don't want to just lift my foot. See, I could just lift my foot and go that direction. That's using gravity. I need to be able to push with this leg. All right, this becomes my back leg. So while I'm in position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to square up to the direction I'm going. Okay, that's where I want to go. I don't want to go this way. I want to turn and go straight. That way I can utilize my back leg. So part of doing my kin is I want this hip to go first. This hip goes and I punch. If I just forget about this hip and go straight in, I'm rotating this way. Like I said before, 50% of my power goes backwards. So what I want to do is I want to get my hip to make like a J shape. It's going to go out and forward. All right. So as I'm losing balance, falling this way, I'm going to create the J shape, like the letter J. Right. So it goes this way and strike. Okay. Now while I'm doing that, I don't want this side to go backwards. I don't go this way. I can hit pretty hard that way, but it's a negative motion and then a positive motion. Okay. It's a telegraph. It takes time. And if I get caught in this position here, I'm weak. Right? So what I want to do is actually think of my back. This part right here is going to stretch. So as I move forward, I turn this hip and I stretch my left, the back part right by where my rhomboid muscles are. I turn this way and into position. All right. If you watch from the back, this part right here, as I go forward, I'm stretching. I'm stretching that motion into position. All right. So two things. One, I lose my balance. And two, I make the letter J with my hip going this way. So I'm going to swing it out, stretch my back, and strike. All right. From here. So right now I'm exaggerating the motion, making a big motion. Here and strike. All right. Eventually you're not going to see that so much. It's just going to be straight in to the motion. So the things to practice when you're doing this is one, losing the balance, but don't lose the balance like this way. It's a very subtle movement. I'm pushing from here, so I'm going to think, I'm just going to fall. All right. And at the point where I lose my balance and there's a point of no return, that's when I turn. Okay. So that's first thing. So you can practice that by itself. The next thing is making sure that your foot rotates and your leg rotates and your hip rotate to give you the pushing, thrusting motion to go forward. Okay. And while you're doing that, you're going to make that kind of a J shape, like the letter J. Okay. So I'm swinging the hip. I'm swinging it this way. Swing and boom. And then another thing you want to think of, you can practice separately again, is this piece with my back right here, right where my rhomboids are, that I want to stretch. Now I don't want this to go backwards. This goes forwards when I do it. So this side shouldn't go backwards. My arm shouldn't go backwards. My shoulder shouldn't go backwards. All this stays there, but this part here tries to stretch back this way. All right. So I'm losing my balance. I turn and boom. So practice each one of those things separately until you get comfortable with them. And then you got to put them together in the sequence. And the sequence is, it's like dominoes falling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each domino hits the next domino. So you want to think that same thing. I'm losing my balance. That's the first domino. Second domino, I turn. At the same time, I'm stretching my back. And then the last domino, I move in with the thrusting motion.